The truth about cholesterol. Here we go.
You bet. Here we go.
I got a couple of facts that I want to say first before I ask the question. I did some research and I found the majority of cholesterol in your body is made up by your liver. Mm-hmm. And the brain contains about 20% of the whole body's cholesterol. Yeah. Which sounds weird to me. So cholesterol's in my brain.
Yeah, I hope
Makes up part of it. And brain cholesterol is deeply involved in the synapses development, the lipid composition of the myelin sheath, and the lipid composition of the myelin sheath is made up of high amounts of cholesterol. So why does the medical industry hate cholesterol so much?
Well, that goes back to a little history lesson. After World War, or about during World War II, medical science began to notice an increase in a particular cardiovascular disease called atherosclerosis, which is the narrowing of the arteries in specific spots. During the Vietnam War, autopsies done on young cadavers, dead soldiers in their 20s already showed slight occlusion of the arteries.
Okay.
And upon dissection, it was discovered that the sticky yellow substance gluing to the artery was in fact cholesterol. So every year since then, heart disease has increased exponentially. You may hear, and it's wrong, but you may hear that we are winning the war on heart disease. We are not. Every single year, heart disease incidence increases. It has never, ever once decreased. More people are living with heart disease because of medical intervention. Stents, bypass, etc. But the incidence of heart disease has never declined. So, without getting into a really long discussion, what is the cause of this problem? Well, it's our little friend, the free radical.
Okay.
Free radicals, primarily
free radical damage.
Yeah, primarily coming from rancid vegetable oils, the kind we've been told forever are healthy, damage the DNA of the inner muscle wall of your artery. That causes those cells sort of a pseudo-cancer situation where the cells of the muscle wall begin to multiply extensively. This puts pressure on the inner wall of the artery. And the body says, hey, if this goes on a whole lot longer, I'm going to blow a hose and that's going to be it, over and out. And so the body in its wisdom begins to lay down a substance called fibrinogen, which is a rather sticky substance, but it's the body's bandage. Once that's laid down, calcium, which is floating through your system, hopefully, is ionically or electrically attracted to the fibrinogen. So wherever that is laid down, that's where calcium is going to go and stick to it. So it's kind of like a layer cake. Once the calcium is stuck to the artery, cholesterol, which is a normal, healthy, essential substance, floats by, and it is ionically attracted to the calcium.
And it's like a row of dominoes.
Yeah, and so it begins to build up. So when these doctors sliced open these arteries and did their autopsies, they saw cholesterol. They never bothered to think or look to see why it was there. Because you can have a 70, 80, 90% blockage at one point in your artery, and an inch away, 2 inches away, it's perfectly clear.
Yeah.
So what's happening at those junctures? Damage from free radicals. So now let me give you something logical to think about. The medical industry thinks that high cholesterol causes heart disease. Wrong. Cholesterol has never caused one case of heart disease in medical history. It can complicate things only if your arteries become calcified. So let's say your cholesterol level is 300. Everybody panics, okay? And they give you diet suggestions, which rarely work, and then they give you the good old statin drugs, which have so many side effects, it isn't even believable that medicine would use these things. And that statin drug damages your liver and forces the cholesterol way down, often below healthy levels. And now supposedly you're at a much lower risk for heart disease. Well, how does that work? It doesn't matter if your cholesterol is 200, 300, 600, 100. If there's any cholesterol in your body, in your blood, and there darn well better be, if it's going to stick to the artery, it's going to stick to the artery. The adhesion of cholesterol to calcified junctures has nothing to do with the amount of cholesterol. It has something to do
with the free radicals.
Arterial damage, which originally started with free radicals, primarily from polyunsaturated oils.
Got it. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to have to do another video about cholesterol that goes a little bit further in depth, because that didn't answer all my questions, but at least that gave me enough to think about until next week when we do another cholesterol and dive even deeper in.